And good evening and welcome to another edition of Talking Wrestling. My name's Ralph Williams and my co-host Smokin Jim Frazier by the means of the telephone. And we are here tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Raw, SmackDown, Royal Rumble, top tens. Where are they now? We have it all here on Talking Wrestling. And I am the only media person in the Pittsburgh area who gets Smokin Jim and I are the only ones who get in depth with professional wrestling right here on Talking Wrestling. Before we get started, Smokin Jim, I want to welcome you to the program. How's everything with you tonight?
Oh, everything is great. Thanks for asking, Ralph.
All right. We had this discussion last night. It's time for me to make a statement here in regards to a gentleman named Josh Taylor. Okay. Josh Taylor, he gets on the nightly sports call, which I have never been invited to be on, and he starts talking about wrestling. Okay. Then he's on in the morning, on Sunday morning, sometimes on 93.7 The Fan, and he tries to talk wrestling for 5 minutes. Okay. All right. Then now he was on last night for Paul Zeiss on 93.7 The Fan. And what was he talking? Wrestling. Smokin Jim and I, we're the kings in this town. The guy that was doing this before, he quit. He's done. Okay. And I've put somebody else in their place too for trying to do this. Okay. If you want me to come on and talk wrestling with you, or you want myself and Smokin Jim to come on, we'll be more than happy to do that. But don't try to copy and try to do what I'm doing. Okay. Josh Taylor, when I'm not invited on your show, ever, or Smokin Jim, either one of us. So don't even go there. Okay. And that's the way I see it tonight. No pun intended, Smokin Jim. You know what I mean. So, all right. We're going to start off with birthdays this week. We're going to have that segment. Any wrestlers that have a birthday or retire. The birthdays this week, Ivan Putski, 82 years old. Leilani Kai, 63 years old. And also our retirement is the Great Muda. And Muda, Smokin Jim, 39 years of wrestling, the Great Muda.
Wow.
And you know what? He's also trained a lot of wrestlers. I heard he trained Leilani Kai when I was trying to find out how old she was. She was trained by she was trained by the Great Moolah. I'm sorry, the Great Moolah trained her when I was trying to find out about what's going on with her birthday. Because I knew it was this week, but I didn't get the age. So, okay, we're going to go into our wrestling news tonight, Smokin Jim. We have plenty of that to talk about. We have some rumors and some things like that. Enzo Amore and Big Cass possibly coming back to the WWE. Smokin Jim, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, man, the more the merrier, man. That's going to be great.
Yeah, well, Enzo Amore is with MLW. He just goes by Enzo, or he just goes by Zoe or Enzo or something like that. I've seen him wrestle. He still does the same stuff. Still talks on the mic. He's good on the mic. I mean, he puts a good show on with the mic. And also he's done some rap CDs or some music or something like that. Big Cass, his name is Big Bill. He is in AEW, and he's with one of the factions. I think he's with that Firm faction that's in the end around the AEW. Ronda Rousey has been removed from the Royal Rumble. How do you like this one, Smokin Jim? What's your thoughts on this?
Well, it's a little disappointing. Why was she removed?
Well, supposedly she got angry when she lost the belt, and they decided to have her lose the belt to Charlotte Flair. And I guess she started becoming a cancer. So they decided, guess what? You're gone. You're done. So and I understand that her contract is about to run out, and I don't think it could be renewed. We're not sure. I'm not sure yet. I don't have any further details on that. Nick Khan, in a Bleacher Report this week, that there's tension between Vince McMahon and Triple H is false. I kind of figured that out because Vince McMahon is back now, Smokin Jim, and he hasn't touched creative. And I know that the board members and the stockholders, which he still hasn't sold the WWE yet, as basically what he's done is there's been this thing that there was friction between them, and in the Bleacher Report, and as I just mentioned, Nick Khan has said that there's no tension, that report is false. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, in McMahon, I trust. I told you all the time, brother. I roll with Vince McMahon. I trust his judgment, and he got the best entertainment product on the planet.
Hey, you know what? I got a nice little thing for you. Who has more money than God?
I'm not sure.
Vince McMahon.
Okay.
we had this guy whose name I'm not going to mention, and he's deceased anyway, at Yellow Cab, and he made a lot of money driving a cab. And somebody wrote on the bathroom wall in the men's room, it says, "Who has more money than God?" And his name was there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It is. Road Dogg has reported that WWE is open to re-signing CM Punk. Now, I know he's caused some problems in AEW. Do you think? I think bringing back CM Punk's a good idea. He brings butts to the seats, and he's popular. A lot of fans like him. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that'd be a great move.
And also, it's been reported that the Authors of Pain are coming back with Paul Ellering. I don't know if you remember who they were. They were in the NXT, and then they came up for a little while. They were champions, and then right before COVID, they got released. What do you think about the Authors of Pain coming back?
I would like it.
Yeah, I saw them come back. They're two big guys. They're very good at wrestling. Paul Ellering is their manager. And also, the WWE this week has signed the Steiner brothers to a Legends contract. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, man. How can you go wrong with that, brother?
Oh, I know. The Steiners are in a Legends contract. Now, how that works, Smokin' Jim, is they're Legends, and then they can hang around WWE. They can also participate in some matches. Okay, now, Rick Steiner is a school teacher, so I'm not sure whether or not he's willing to give that up. I guess he must. And, Scott Steiner's been going around the independents, and he's all over the place. At least he was for a little while. I think he's pretty much retired. Okay, here is the big shocker. Iron Mike Tyson was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble match for some, I guess, as a celebrity in the Royal Rumble match, okay? Because The Rock was supposed to be in there. Now The Rock doesn't want anything to do with wrestling. He's made them statements many times so far in the last couple of weeks. Iron Mike Tyson has been taken away from the Royal Rumble match. He's being accused again, and guess of what?
Rape.
Sexual assault.
Mm.
I don't have all the details, but that's why the WWE has removed him as well. All right. WWE is being accused by a former wrestler and referee, Danny Davis. Do you remember Danny Davis?
Yeah.
Well, he's suing the WWE because he was he was waiting for the wrestlers to die before they would put them in the hall. Oh, he's suing the WWE because he should be put in the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame, according to what they're saying now in WWE, that they're waiting for wrestlers to die before they put them in the Hall of Fame. So he's suing the WWE because he feels he should be put in the Hall of Fame right now. I think that's a dumb lawsuit. What do you think?
I don't know enough about it to comment on that one.
All right. Next, Mick Foley. Kane, the Bella Twins, Bully Ray were not invited to the 30th anniversary of Raw. I found out that the Bella Twins, for some weird reason, I guess it's because the one Bella Twin who's married to Bryan Danielson is because Bryan Danielson, now formerly known as Daniel Bryan, is with AEW now, and he's getting ready to compete against MJF for the world title at their pay-per-view coming up. And it's going to be in a 60-minute Iron Man match. And supposedly, I guess the Bella Twins now are not allowed to be in the WWE because of that. And Kane was not invited. Neither was Mick Foley. I heard there's some tension between Kane, Mick Foley, and the WWE. For what reasons, I don't know. What do you think about this?
Man, sounds like a lot of mess, man. But I'm sure it'll get ironed out. you got legends on top of legends on top of legends, and you got the fans who want to see them. So I think it'll get ironed out.
All right. The Eric Young is coming back to the WWE. His contract expired with Impact Wrestling. He will be wrestling in the Royal Rumble match, which will be great. Eric Young is a great wrestler. He's wrestled with Impact and some other wrestling organizations over the years. All right, Impact Wrestling. Remember Fandango, Smokin' Jim?
No.
He was that guy that did all them fancy dances, and he would come out and he would dance with people, and then he teamed up with Tyler Breeze. Remember that him?
Yeah.
Well, now he is in the he is in Impact, and he goes by Dirty Dango, is his name now. And Big Con, who was in the in a faction in WWE's NXT, he is now signed with Impact as well. So, and also John Morrison. And I sent a text out to Claudio today. Guess what John Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip, is getting ready to do?
What's that?
He's getting into boxing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to start a boxing career. So I figured maybe you and you guys and and Claudio and Luther can talk about it. So
oh man, that's great. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought maybe you guys would be able to do that, being the fact that you guys are the boxing authorities. In fact, you guys were on today, my show, the way I see it, the TV version. So, all right, let's get started here with Monday Night Raw. What was your thoughts about the 30th anniversary? Did you think it was okay? And I have some news for you about that cage match. Go ahead.
Probably the best show I've ever seen.
Well, you know what? The ratings were sky high on it, too. Okay. Despite the fact that there were some legends who weren't involved, as I've mentioned earlier, the ratings were still the highest they've had in a long, long time. So that's great to hear. Okay, let me tell you a little story about that cage match. Remember how the cage match never even really happened because Becky Lynch was on her way to the cage, and they locked the cage up with the chain and did all that nonsense. Well, it was because the Bloodline took too much time with their trial of Sami Zayn. Okay, so the WWE didn't have enough time to do the match because the match was probably going to be 20 minutes or a half hour with the cage matches, especially that match. It's a good match. You know what I mean? So what were your thoughts about the Lashley Theory match and the interference by Brock Lesnar? What do you think about that?
Oh, man. I didn't see it coming.
I didn't either. I didn't. Because, well, my thoughts were Smokin' Jim, and I think you'll agree with me. I thought Bobby Lashley was going to win the title, and they were going to start the Hurt Business back up. I keep hearing that, and I know that MVP had made some kind of a statement that he had made a couple moves to get him a match or whatever, and he's been begging him to try to put it together. And they're talking about it. It's going to probably happen real soon. But I'm hearing stories that Shelton Benjamin may not be involved. He's being nominated to be in the Hall of Fame. So I'm not sure whether or not they're still going to go with it. They may with what they have, which is Omos and Bobby Lashley and Cedric Alexander. Maybe they could add somebody, or maybe Sheldon still might wrestle and still be in the Hall of Fame. That probably can still go on. Look at Sting. Look at some of these other guys that are in the Hall of Fame. Edge, has come back several times. So, I mean, it's not all, and Goldberg. So, Shelton Benjamin might be able to still stay in wrestling, even though he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I was disappointed in that match. I actually thought Lashley was going to win. And then, and then maybe. But now I'm hearing stories that there's going to be another Lashley-Brock Lesnar type of match, which I didn't expect because Lesnar supposedly is in the Royal Rumble match, and so is Lashley. So we're going to find out how that goes on Saturday with the Royal Rumble. I'm not going to be able to watch it. I'm going to have to catch the replay because I have other obligations, but I'm not going to be able to watch it. You have the match between Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss. What do you think about a few of these matches other than the Royal Rumble matches?
I tell you what, I'm excited, man. They whoever the matchmakers are put together, some great matches, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so far there's 5. You have the 2 Royal Rumble matches. You have that dark match, whatever it's called, with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. So anyway, did you see on Monday Night Raw how the Undertaker came in? I thought that was pretty interesting.
That was cool. That was
Yeah,
so cool, man.
yeah, it was. It was good to
Motorcycle
see
and
it
all,
was good to see the Undertaker back, who was our Where Are They Now wrestler a few weeks back, and then yeah, I thought that was a really good a segment that went on there. And I liked the best one I liked of the night. And I'm not a Bloodline fan, Smokin' Jim, but I can't stand the Judgment Day any better. It was great to see the Usos beat them. It was really good to see that happen, because I didn't want them to be walking around with a belt. And so it was nice to see Sami Zayn try to pay back his dues to be back with the Bloodline. What do you think about this situation with Sami Zayn?
I tell you what, man, it's a little confusing right now, because I'm not sure where Roman Reigns stands. I thought Sami Zayn would be entrenched with the Bloodline, but after last show, I'm on the fence a little bit, and I know you've always thought that Sami Zayn was probably going to go away from the Bloodline. You and Mark Mancini.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I thought so too.
I may be joining you guys' thought process.
Yeah, just a reminder: tomorrow night's show is at 7:30. Again, we're going to be on for 60 minutes. We're going to be talking about wrestling, and we're going to be talking about the football playoffs this weekend, and we're going to be talking some other things. So it's basically an open show tomorrow night. Wrestle Talk, 7:30 p.m. Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631. Call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, have the popcorn and the soda ready, and we're going to get ready for Wrestle Talk tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio National Broadcast. Okay, next. The Street Profits and Seth Rollins defeated Imperium. Well, you knew that was coming. That was a good match as well, I thought. It was good to see Seth Rollins teaming up with the Imperium, or with the Street Profits in this match. What was your thoughts on this match?
Man, it was good, man. I like how it was all. I kind of thought Triple X and D-Generation X was going to fight a little bit there.
Yeah,
so that was cool.
That was.
And then you had Kurt Angle with the referee shirt on.
Yeah, as an honorary guest. So. Yeah,
so
that was great.
Good, I thought.
Yeah, I thought the DX segment was pretty good. A lot of them guys I know, like X-Pac, Sean Walton, he just had surgery. He can't really wrestle. And, so some of these guys, like Triple H, he's not allowed to wrestle anymore. He's still got pretty much a little bit of a heart condition. Although he had some surgery and some things done, he was told he can't wrestle no more. Road Dogg can't wrestle. I mean, these guys, Shawn Michaels, he's got that neck injury and back problems. So it's hard for them to wrestle at what they do. But they all work in the back except Sean Walton. He's been running around the independents lately. So that's what he's been doing, X-Pac. But, but anyway, and Kurt Angle, Kurt, he gets around. He's got his own little podcast, and so on. So, here we are. Also, Bianca Belair defeated Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville crying again. It's terrible. Charlotte Flair came out to the ring. And so Kevin Owens delivered a message to Roman Reigns, interrupting the Miz promo by delivering a stunner and then vowing to defeat Reigns Saturday or die trying. What do you think about this match at Royal Rumble with Kevin Owens and the Bloodline, or the Tribal Chief?
Man, it could be a very, very, very long match, or it could be over very quickly, man. Who knows, man? But I know it's going to be brutal. Could be bloody. There's no love lost between the two, so we got to just see what's going to happen. It's hard to make a prediction.
Oh, and your buddy JBL had another poker game. And it looks like Baron Corbin was losing. And he's,
what happened? I seen him with all the money, and then they had to put the money in the briefcase. But I couldn't understand what the guy was saying.
Yeah,
why they take the money?
Yeah, he took the money, and it's crazy. That I didn't see too much of that poker game, but I do know.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I saw what was going on. I just didn't really pay much attention to it.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
I gotta go back and check it out.
Okay, Friday night on SmackDown last Friday, McIntyre and Sheamus took on Eric and Ivar in a tournament for to try to go up against the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team belts. What was your thoughts on that match?
Oh man, it's fight night.
Yeah, I know, and you know what? That was a good match because the Viking Raiders are a tough team. They really are, and they've come back as a heel. They have they have Sarah Logan there with her. That's Eric's wife, Sarah Logan. She used to be a wrestler. She used to team up with the woman who's Ruby Soho now in AEW. She used to team up with her, and they had a team together, Sarah Logan. And now she's going by the name Valhalla. So, you know, Sonya Deville attacks Charlotte Flair. You know, this Sonya Deville, she needs to give it a rest. You said this a few weeks back. She needs to go back to being in management. Maybe cleaning toilets or something, or doing something other than running around trying to get championship matches all over the place. And guess what returned on Friday night?
What's up?
The Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. The Firefly Funhouse returned. So you know, it was a lot of talking, not too much wrestling going on. And, you know, you got Karrion Kross telling Rey Mysterio his time is up and all that other stuff. So, you know, what do you think about that feud?
Between who now?
Karrion Kross and Rey Mysterio.
I tell you what, man. What a mismatch size-wise. You know, although Mysterio is no chump, I think that man, it kind of surprised me a little bit. You know, seeing them both in the ring and seeing Cross in there with his wife. But you know, I guess it's the real deal. It's a feud, and Mysterio's still quick, but Cross can potentially break him in half.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, there were some other rumors going around that certain wrestlers and his son Ray has asked, and I'm hearing the WWE is kind of pushing his contract's running out in April for Rey Mysterio to step away from the game. Do you think he should step away, or do you think he should continue?
Mysterio?
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he stick around. He can stick around. Yeah, I mean. Don't leave the game until you have to, man. Because exactly. I'd rather go a year too long than quit a year too early, man. Go out on your shield, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's get to our top 10 tonight. We have 2 of them again, as we do every week. Okay, let's talk about the top 10. Worst, let me see here. The top 10 worst stables in the history of the WWE. Now, number 10, League of Nations. What was your thoughts about League of Nations?
Man, are they in your top 10?
Yeah, they're the one. This is the top 10 worst stables. We're talking about, you know, we're talking about stables. We're talking about factions. Number 10 worst was the League of Nations. Do you agree with this or not?
Yeah, I agree with that. That was what I was asking. Was they in your top 10? I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Top 10 list.
Yeah, number 9 WWE worst stable was the Cabinet, led by JBL.
Okay.
Number 8, the Mean Street Posse, led by the Mean Street Posse, led by Shane McMahon. What was your thoughts on that faction?
Yeah, Yeah, you got him. You got him about right.
Next, the Hugatu Guerrero and the Mexicans. That was number 7. All right. Number 6, the Truth Commission. Number 5, the Social Outcasts. The Social Outcasts. All right. Next, Pretty Mean Sisters, which was a women's stable, and it was it was a women's stable, the Pretty Mean Sisters, and that was run by Jacqueline. So what's your thoughts on the Pretty Mean Sisters being at number 4 worst faction?
Yeah, they got to be in the top 10 for sure.
Number 3 worst faction was the Cole. Now, I don't know what that means. I really didn't see much of that faction. Mick Foley's faction, number 2, with Ken Shamrock, the Union, at number 2. The Union. So, and number 1, you ready for number 1?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's do this. Number 1, okay, is Retribution. Number 1 worst stable in the history of the WWE. Okay. And then there's that is it right there. Okay, our next top 10 WWE divas who have rotted in jail. You ready for this one?
Okay.
Actually, there's a top 15 here. This isn't 10, this is actually 15. You ready? Maxine, yeah. 14. Number 14, Maxine, DUI. Rotten in jail because of a DUI. Okay. Caitlin, arrested for speeding, a speeding ticket in Michigan. But get this, she argued with the police and they got her for disorderly conduct as well. They put her in jail for a little bit for that. All right. Next, at number 11, Lita, driving with a suspended license that was revoked. And also at I missed number 12, which was who has a DUI, Serena Deeb, who is in AEW, used to be in NXT, DUI for her as well. And Lita, driving with a suspended license at number 11, that was also revoked. Okay. Next, Becky Bayless, DUI with a suspended license. Here we go. Boy, I tell you what, man, a lot of drinking in this wrestling world, isn't it? You know, Emma. Okay, Emma is back in the WWE. And she got accused of stealing a tablet or stealing an iPad out of Best Buy. But here it was a misunderstanding. So she served some time in jail for this, but it turned out to be a misunderstanding. So she's that's been dismissed. But she spent a day or two in jail. Missy Hyatt, number 7, unlawful taking. She took a coin collection, a real rare one that belonged to somebody, and some other collectibles. She was charged with unlawful taking and serving time in jail for that. All right, next is Awesome Kong, driving with a suspended license. She spent some time in jail. Number 6. Number 5, we talked about Tammy Stitch last time when we talked about the wrestlers that were in jail. I'm not going to go there. She's going to be in jail for about 20 years with all the stuff she went on. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Cameron, she was charged with a DUI and, get this, bribing a cop.
Wow.
Bribing a cop. She tried to bribe a cop to get out of this DUI. All right. Next, Charlotte Flair. Okay. Charlotte Flair got into a big, huge argument with her father. And she ended up striking her dad, Ric Flair. And turned out that Ashley, which is her real name, ended up in the Who Scout for a few days. So there we are. All right. So anyway, number 1. The number 1 of the top 10 divas who rotted in jail was Rebby Fry. Now, do you know who Rebby Fry is? She's married to Matt Hardy, and she served some time in jail for domestic abuse at a hotel. Her and Matt got into an argument. There were a few other wrestlers. They were having a party. She got drunk. They got into a domestic argument. She started beating them up or throwing punches. Some stuff was said. Things were done. She ended up in jail for a little while. That is our top 10 two top tens of the night here on Talking Wrestling of WWE Divas who rotted in jail. So there you are, Smokin' Jim. What's your thoughts on all that?
Hey, pretty good list, man. A couple of them really surprised me. I didn't know that Charlotte Flair got into it with Ric Flair.
Yeah. Her and Ric Flair had a domestic argument over something. And okay, tonight we have a great. Where are they now? Hulk Hogan. So tonight we're going to talk about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Gene Bollea. He was born August 11th, 1953, well known for his name of Hulk Hogan. Also went by Terry Hulk Hogan. He is widely regarded as the most recognized wrestling star worldwide, and he is the most popular wrestler of the 80s. We all know that. Hulk Hogan, he tore the 80s up. What was your favorite thing in the 80s with Hulk Hogan?
Rocky 3.
Thunder Lips is going to tear up the Italian meatball. In fact, you know what, Smokin' Jim? I just got they're at the last here on MGM Plus. They're having tonight a Rocky marathon, and they're on Rocky Balboa right now. And I watched 3 earlier today. So I never pass up Rocky movies when they're on. So anyway,
yes,
at this time, Hulk Hogan is 69 years old. He is currently living in Augusta, Georgia. And he was living in Florida. I think he's originally from Venice Beach, California. So is Sting. That's why they're friends. They both grew up in Venice Beach, California. He's been on some movies, as you mentioned, Rocky 3 and several others. He's been active. He was an active musician in 1976, and from 77 to 2012, he was a wrestler. Presently, if in 1982 until now, he is still considered an actor. They had their own reality show at Hulk Hogan's Family Show. They had that at one time. He was married to Linda Hogan until divorce in 2009. Then in 2010, he married Jennifer McDaniel, and now he's divorced last year from her. And I know you heard about a few years back them sex tapes that were released illegally. He sued the photographer for that, and he ended up winning, and that's how he got his job back with the WWE, because he's an ambassador. He works for the WWE, goes around, promotes them, and things like that. His children are Brooke and Nick Hogan. Relatives, Horace Hogan, who's a nephew. All right, he's gone under nicknames Hollywood Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Hulk Boulder, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Machine, Mr. Remember when he had that mask on in the early 2000s? He called himself Mr. America because Vince McMahon didn't want him to come back, but Stephanie wanted to bring him back, so she brought him back as Mr. America. Remember that? And he was wearing that mask. Sterling Golden, Terry Boulder, and also the Super Destroyer. He's 6'7", weighs 201 pounds, 302 pounds currently, and he's billed from Hollywood Hulk Hogan from Venice Beach, California, as Hulk Hogan, Washington D.C., and Mr. America, Washington D.C. That's when he was billed. He was trained by Hiro Masoda is who he was trained by. He retired from wrestling in January 27, 2012. He was also the general manager for a little while for Impact Wrestling. Her name, I can't get it off the top of my head right now, that ran Impact Wrestling, and what's her name? Carter. Oh, man, I can't remember. Well, whatever. Dixie Carter. That's it, Dixie Carter. Him and Dixie Carter had a falling out, and for different ideas, they ended up bringing back, a few people like Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo. That didn't work out for them, and it was the fall of TNA. As you know, Impact now is owned by Anthem Sports. Hulk Hogan performed for the American Wrestling Alliance back when he first started New Japan. He was also the inaugural winner of the original IWGP Heavyweight Championship. He was in, as I mentioned, TNA. During and after wrestling, Hulk Hogan had an extensive acting career beginning in 1982 as a cameo role in Rocky III. He starred in several films, including No Holds Barred, I remember that one, Suburban Commando, and Mr. Danny. And 3 television shows, Hogan Knows Best, which was his family thing. He was in something called Thunder in Paradise and China Ill. So, as well as the Right Guard commercials and video games, Hulk Hogan's main event. He was the frontman for Wrestling Boot Band, and the sole record, Hulk Rules, reached number 12 on the Billboard's Top Kid Audio chart in 1995. So tonight, that is our Where Are They Now segment of Hulk Hogan. And he was just recently seen on TV involving the documentary about Ric Flair, also in Vince McMahon documentary as well. He's been in a few of those. What's your thoughts on Hulk Hogan, Smokin' Jim?
Man, the GOAT, greatest of all time, man. Just it's amazing. I think for the casual wrestling fans, Rocky III is the one that put him over.
Right.
He had such a great impact in that movie. I know the hardcore wrestling fans knew who he was, but the casuals, and that drove a lot of people to watch him in wrestling and to build his fan base, man. What a great career he had.
Oh, yeah, he had a great one, absolutely. Smokin' Jim. Any, before we go, who you taking in the Royal Rumble match, and who do you, on both sides, who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble, and what's your thoughts on the Royal Rumble as a whole?
I think it's great. You know me, I'm always the best event of the year is the next event. And I just can't see anybody beating Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to beat Kevin Owens, so we're going to find out what happens with that as well. And I have some predictions here. Sports Illustrated says that their predictions are Rhea Ripley and Seth Rollins. That's their prediction. Sports Illustrated. Okay.
Okay.
The whatsculture.com, they're predicting Edge winning it because he's supposed to be in the Royal Rumble, and Cody Rhodes. So far, the people who are in this match: Ricochet, Santos Escobar, Kofi Kingston, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther Omos. Omos, I think, could win it, as big as he is. And then you have Drew McIntyre. They say he's a favorite. Sheamus, another favorite. Braun Strowman, Karrion Kross. Now, that rounds out a little bit of that field of some of the guys that are in this. Dominic Mysterio's in it. There's a few of them. I apologize for the sirens, everybody. So what's your final thoughts tonight, Smokin' Jim, as we wrap things up here?
Man, I tell you what, man, you pack it in tight in a half. 30 minutes is the best 30 minutes of wrestling in the country. Brother.
That's it. You're right. You got it right. And the best in Pittsburgh. And the best in Pittsburgh. And for Josh Taylor to try to think he can outdo me, he's wrong. He might have the outlet, but we have it right here. We're on 4 platforms all across the country. We have people everywhere that listen to both of this Talkin' Wrestling and our Wrestle Talk show with Mark Mancini on Thursday nights. We have over 500 listeners. Okay? So, you know what, Josh Taylor? You and some other people can all go somewhere with all this, because I'm going to tell you what, this show's going to be number 1, Smokin' Jim. You know it and I know it, and that's what's going to happen. So, just a reminder to you, tomorrow night, 7:30, not 8 o'clock, 7:30, Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631 is the number to call in order for you to listen to the show. Please call your friends, call your cousin, call somebody. And don't forget, on Tuesday night, Sports Corner with myself and Smokin' Jim Frazier, 8:30. Smokin' Jim, we got a great set of we got two great guests coming on Tuesday night. We have Marty Leap. He's going to talk about the Pirates and Andrew McCutcheon. And then we have Leo Haggerty from Tampa to talk about all the Florida teams and what they did this year in the NFL and about the NFL. So Smokin' Jim, thanks for being on the show tonight. I want to thank everybody for watching. And I also want to remind you, don't forget, next Wednesday, we're back here. Same time, same place, same channel, same platforms. Smokin' Jim, have a great night. Thank you. And thank you all for watching, and be safe.